We're here with Dan Fonte, who is a former official with Local 94, the Pipe Fitters and Plumbers Union, now working for senior citizens in Stark County. Would you define yourself in terms of who you're representing here tonight?
Well, I'm a board member for the Ohio Alliance for Retired Americans, and this issue is really emotional for a lot of our seniors, and we just had our state fall meeting last Tuesday, and this took up 3 hours of the discussion at our meeting, and we cannot come to conclusion to make a recommendation because as of tonight it's still muddy, and a lot of our people are in private health plans, some are in state plans, some seniors are covered under Medicaid. So you can't just endorse something to take care of some and leave the other ones out, because I believe that the pharmaceutical companies, what I think they're going to do is if this passes, there's a formulary around everything for drugs, prescription drugs. They'll shrink that formulary. It's like blood pressure, there's probably 50 blood pressure medicines. If this passes for Ohio, they'll just shrink it down to like 8 or 9 or 6. And then it's just going to make it worse for everybody, you know. This has to be done on a national level. And access doesn't mean nothing. Access means you can get it if you can afford it. It doesn't mean you're going to get it. And, you know, so there's good points and bad points on both sides. But I can't make a decision tonight because I didn't get anything accomplished. Because
Are you leaning one way or another as a result of
I was leaning no, and I'm still leaning no because of the unknowns. And you know, I know pharma is funding the majority of this. In fact, I think they're funding all of it, for everything that I can find out. But their names aren't made. The pharmaceutical companies' names are not being publicized. He says you can go to a website, but I think you'll see it goes to a nonprofit. And it's just a shame that there isn't a person in this room that doesn't want lower drug prices. Not one person. Everybody I talk to wants lower prescription drug prices. And we in this country can't make it happen because of the money and the politics. That's where it's at. They spend more money, the pharmaceutical industry, on advertising directly to the consumers. If you look at the repository, you'll see drugs there, hearing aids, all that stuff is covering their pages, okay? There's only 2 countries in the world that allow direct advertising to consumers. That's the United States and New Zealand. Every other country it's outlawed in. Now, if every other country outlaws it, and that's why we're the guinea pigs, because the reason they can charge us what they're charging is because they can. There's nothing stopping them. As you know, Medicare, when they put in Medicare Advantage, Congress in 2003, they explicitly put in the law that Medicare is not allowed to negotiate for cheaper drug prices. Now, why would Congress do that? That's explicitly in the law. They wrote that in, so Medicare can't do it. And that's a shame. Why people are getting held up to it, you know, it's crazy.
Let me see if I can interpret what you just told me in very basic terms. My impression of your response is that you think that the pharmaceutical industry would use a passage of this issue to their financial advantage.
Well, if it passes, I would almost guarantee they're not going to take a loss. So they're going to pick it up somewhere. And, you know, what they're going to do is, I'm in a private self-funded plan. My prices probably could go up that I pay. And then we fund our own plan. That's the way our operation works. So that's going to affect everybody. Nobody's going to take a loss in this if it passes. That's why I think, and if you look at the amount of money that's being spent, it's just, I mean, every 10 minutes they got an ad on vote no, you know, and it's a shame that it just the politics is a crazy thing. And they keep talking about access, but access don't mean nothing. I got access to buy this building. I just don't have the money to buy it. And that's where people are getting all thrown under. And that's why everybody's disillusioned, because nothing gets done for the people. And that's why it's terrible for us.
Thanks, Dan.
Thank you, Mark.